Victims who have come to the nation's capital to say that this cannot continue. There will be 400 people here this weekend who are concerned about what goes on behind us and are here to think of what we can do to change that. Just now we're coming from a press conference over at the National Press Club where we had our full Yemeni delegation present to share their stories about what's happening in their country and what we can do to help them. They'll be heading over here shortly. Our Yemeni delegate, Murad Khan, who is a lawyer with Reprieve in the United Kingdom, and an expert on Yemen. And we have Faisal Jabbar, whose brother-in-law and 21-year-old nephew were slaughtered in a drone strike last year, who is here to share his story. We also have Intisar, who is a young and powerful female politician who is part of the anti-drone movement in Yemen and comes from the southern province of Marib in Yemen, where drone strikes take place constantly. And today she said something that really touched me. She said, "What have we done for the United States to be doing this to us?" And that is a question that we should be reflecting upon every minute as we're out here. What have these people done to deserve what is happening to them? We should reflect on that statement as we join the movement, as we make it stronger, and as we join hands to say that we won't take this anymore. Thanks, guys. Let's give it up for Normir, anti-drone campaign. All right, so I see a lot of familiar faces here today. This is so exciting. Raise your hand if you're from the West Coast. Who's from the Midwest? Who's from Alaska? From Alaska! Right here from Alaska. Is there anyone here from another country? Crystal! Let's hear it!
Hello!
Where are you from, Crystal?
UK!
UK, alright. And we've got Elsa here from... Alright, we've got Yasser here from Pakistan. And we've got Elsa here from Germany. Alright. So we've got activists, we've got experts, we've got human rights advocates here from all over the world.
We've got artists.
Oh, we've got a lot of artists. Let's give it up for Tig and his team who made all these beautiful videos. So we're here, like Nor said, together for the 2013 International Drone Summit. We've brought people from all over the world to educate themselves and educate their peers about U.S. drone strikes in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, and the drone proliferation that's happening all around the world. So we're here to kick off that weekend with this exciting rally, and we're going to have lots of people speaking and some people singing. And we invite you to join us tonight for a film screening of Robert Greenwald's new film, Unmanned, America's Drone Wars, which will be taking place at Busboys and Poets, Missing K, from 6 to 8 o'clock. So now I'm going to introduce you to Medea Benjamin. Nor again. Let's do it for Nor. All right. I would actually like to invite Yasser over to Pakistan, Pakistani, here to say no to drones, to introduce himself and say why you're here and what you stand for.
Well, thank you everybody for joining the cause, and we really appreciate from Pakistan point of view the drones. We are facing the blunt of it. Over 50,000 people have died in Pakistan since this war has started. We have numerous attempts where we wanted to make peace with all people who are living in Pakistan, but the drones have sabotaged the peace process. And I'm representing Imran Khan and our party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. We are the ruling party in KPK province, where all the drones are happening. And we have a unanimous resolution numerous times where representative of people of Pakistan have asked for U.S. government to stop the drone attacks. But those voices are falling on the deaf ears, and we hope with our friends in Koting that we can make our point here and stop this, on this kind of war, which it practically you are punishing 8 million people of the tribal areas of Pakistan, where drones are on their head 24/7. You don't know when it's gonna hit who. The kids are becoming mentally sick, and this is a humanitarian cause where we need all of your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's do that. Thank you, and thanks to the PTI, the political party that's been so outspoken against drones. But we must say that it's basically every party in Pakistan who has been outspoken about drones. We have a guest here who came all the way from the UK, and I want to introduce Chris Cole. He has been working so hard for years now to educate people in the UK about the drones, to try to stop the British government from using drones as it has been doing as part of NATO in Afghanistan. And he has put together a tremendous coalition of human rights activists and people in the faith-based community to confront the government's position on drones. So give a big hand to Chris Cole.
Hey, thank you very much. Delighted to be here. Thank you for organising such great weather. Fantastic. So I send greetings from everybody in the UK, all people around the country that are challenging drones. We're building and using drones in the UK. If you look at the media, you sometimes think it's only the US that are using drones. But we've launched more than 400 drone strikes in Afghanistan. And of course, Israel is also using drones. And we've had some great news this morning over in Europe from ELSA. ELSA may say a little bit about that this weekend at the Code Pink Summit. Do come along, because Germany has decided not to build and not to use armed drones. So that's fantastic. We're hearing much more about that from ELSA. So thank you very much.
All right, let's hear from ELSA. Go Germany for taking a big step.
Hello, I live in Berlin, Germany since 1996, and I have wonderful news to report, because I think Germany is the first industrialized country that says we're worried about the ethical ramifications of drones, and we don't necessarily want weaponized drones, even though the U.S. is trying to sell them to us and Israel is trying to sell them to us. This is very new news. Our drone campaign is also very new. It started last March. And we were inspired very much by Code Pink and the U.S. movement and what's been happening in the U.K. We said we don't want drones here. Of course, we have drones in Germany from Rammstein and with AFRICOM, all of what's happening, drone attacks in Africa and in Pakistan. Germany is involved, but many Germans are outraged about this. So now we built actually enough heat that we got several parties in the German parliament to back this position, and in the new coalition government that was elected in September, the CDU, Christian Democrats, Merkel's party, the CSU, their partner party from Bavaria, and the Social Democratic Party, they said that the policy of their government for the next 4 years is to look into the issues surrounding drones and not to acquire them yet, weaponized drones. Thank you.
This space is a very sacred space, you know, outside the White House here, and especially at this time every week is when the Catholic workers come out here, and for years have been out here vigiling against war, against violence, and for a peaceful world. And one of the mainstays of that is Art Laffin. So give him a hand for all the work that he and the Catholic workers have been doing for the peaceful world.
Thank you, Medea, and thank you, Code Pink. We've stood with you many times, and we are very grateful to stand with you today, and all those who have come here for this drone summit, to denounce the empire's war-making, and also to say no to torture, which since 1998, since April of this past year, we've been vigiling here with a special focus on the Guantanamo hunger strikers. We began this vigil in 1998 to call for an end to the U.S. criminal war making in Iraq, and we have extended that focus to include an end to all U.S. war-making and all U.S. intervention in our world, for the abolition of all weapons of mass destruction, from nuclear weapons to killer drones. The biblical admonition to proclaim liberty to the captives has taken on an urgent meaning since the Guantanamo hunger strike began, as people in Guantanamo who have languished there for over 11 years have said they'd rather stop eating than remain in legal limbo. And so we have Dorothy Day Catholic Worker and Witness Against Torture have been having that focus here every Friday to remember the prisoners, including the 9 who have died, and there's never been an independent investigation into their deaths. And so as we gather here, we remember the 9 who have died at Guantanamo and all the victims of drone warfare and all victims of this U.S. war-making empire. Killing people with drones and torturing people is always wrong. Shakar Amir, a British resident who has languished at Guantanamo for 12 long years without ever being charged, and who has been cleared for release since 2009, made this point in a powerful way. The following is an excerpt from an article by Shakir that was dictated by his lawyer on June 10th and published in The Guardian on June 14th of this year. Shakir, who has been on multiple hunger strikes and who has been subjected to torturous forced feeding, writes the following.
Do you want to hold it down?
Here I am in Guantanamo Bay. I was meant to be a Muslim extremist, one of the worst according to the former United States Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. Indeed, because I am still here and 613 detainees have left, you might think that I am the worst of the worst, although perhaps the fact that I was cleared for release 6 years ago would give you pause for thought. As I sit alone in my cell, I learn about acts of terrorism that take place around the world. Because the censors here do not let us have the news anymore as a punishment for being on a hunger strike, I have only heard the bare bones of what happened in Woolwich, but even without knowing all the facts, it is easy for me to condemn it. Just yesterday I was talking to another detainee about the murder of Lee Rigby. Neither of us could understand how anyone could think such an act was consistent with Islam. I condemn it regardless of the men's motives. The same is true of the attack on the Boston Marathon in April. Maybe those who killed the innocent thought somehow that their attack was going to strike a blow against those who were fighting Muslims in Afghanistan or Iraq, or the Americans who were killing innocent children with drones in Pakistan and Yemen. But their actions were just plain wrong. You do not kill innocent people on the streets of London or Boston and say that it is jihad for justice. It is important to recognize that the Americans do evil things as well. They say their motivation is to fight terrorism, and fighting terror is something I wholeheartedly support. But while their intentions may be good, their actions are also very wrong. When they kill a small child with a drone missile in Pakistan, or when they lock people up without trial in Guantanamo Bay, these actions are very unwise too. They anger people who might before have been reasonable, so that more of them turn to extremism. They feed terrorism. We cannot establish justice by committing injustice. Evil begets evil. But at the same time, goodwill brings goodwill. Right now, I am on a hunger strike for justice. To me, it is worth suffering for that goal, and I will continue my personal struggle one way or another until justice prevails. To Shakir Amir and all the detainees at Guantanamo, we say you are not forgotten. We will continue to seek your liberty until you are free. To all the victims of U.S. drone strikes, we say you are not forgotten. We will continue to non-violently resist the killer drones, these death squads in the skies, until they are no more. And so we say, no more killer drones. No more killer drones. No more kill lists. No more kill lists. Stop the kill killer drone assassination program now. Let us all continue to labor together to create the beloved community and help bring about a world free of violence, weapons, torture, and war. Thank you.
Amen.